That's all. Okay.
Okay.
Somebody started recording the class. Thanks for that. Okay. Let the recording be continued. So we will discuss our today's topic. Actually, I'm not feeling so much well with my health today. We can discuss few small topics which we have. So I think you can see my screen now. Is it visible? Can someone please
Yeah,
let know?
visible. Yeah, visible.
Okay, thank
Is
you.
it possible to post this actually?
Post what?
I mean, like, can you just post this in the group or like, I don't, because I,
I I
In the
think I have
summary.
already I I think I have already done it. I mean
yeah,
the
yeah.
course content. I'll again do it, no problem. At the end of the class, I'll share it. Okay. So actually we have done discussed it until here. Intercompany configuration. I'm sorry, not here. I mean we have discussed it until ledger allocations. Just missing this part, 14th topic, accrual schemes, which we will discuss again. Okay, accrual schemes and intercompany we will discuss tomorrow and day after tomorrow. For today, let us discuss two or three small topics. Since Sushila raised the topic of reason codes, we will discuss this as well. Before that, we will discuss this balance control accounts as well as accounts for automatic transactions. We'll see these three topics today. They're very small, yet it's very important to understand. In different areas, they'll come to work. First, let us see these balance control accounts. Okay, so I'll just navigate to or change it to our demo company MRF. So anybody have any idea what is a balance control account? Yeah,
No.
Dynamics. No one. Okay. So actually we can configure any main account as a balance control account such that whenever you use that main account or before you create and post any journal, you can see what is the existing balance in that account and in how many other journals this particular main account is booked. I mean, it's kept as a draft without being posted. And what will be the next balance if at all we post all those journals or post the now created journal now. So to understand this or before we post any transaction to just to identify what kind of balances we have in that accounts, we can set few accounts as balance control accounts. Mostly like petty cash accounts and cash accounts are used to be set as balance control accounts. And bank accounts are by default balance control accounts. They will by default show the balances automatically. So we will see that two parts. So first I'll take you to general ledger here. So under chart of accounts, we know this menu where we have configured main accounts previously. So general ledger, chart of accounts, and I have balance control accounts here as the last menu in the accounts. General ledger, chart of accounts and in accounts I have balance control accounts. Done, noted down the navigation. So general ledger, chart of accounts and balance control accounts. If I click on balance control accounts here, I don't have any accounts configured. Okay. I'll add one or two accounts. Okay. I'll add new here. It's a very simple setup. You can select any of the account as a balance control account. So I'm selecting this cash account and I'm also selecting another account, petty cash account. So these two accounts I'm selecting as balance control accounts. You can select any account as you wish from your list of main accounts that you have, but preferably mostly they'll select the liquidity accounts like cash accounts, petty cash accounts, bank account. Bank accounts by default will be the balance control accounts as I told you. So I have selected two accounts now. So how to use this balance control account? Selected main account already exists as a balance control account. Enter different main account. No, that's okay. I have two accounts already. Right? So I have gone to this one, general ledger, chart of accounts and balance control account. So I have went to balance control accounts and gave two accounts or added two accounts here from the list of main accounts that I have. Now let us see how we can use this balance control accounts, or what is the purpose of this small configuration we have done. Okay, to demonstrate this agenda of this configuration or how it works, I'm going to general journals now. So in general ledger, journal entries and journal journals. So it takes a while actually, since it is the first transaction. So I'll create a new journal quickly. So journal, select a general journal. I'll pay any petty expense or just create a transaction without posting it. I'll just create a normal transaction. Okay. So I'll use this one account, expense account, some miscellaneous expense account for a normal transaction. So I'm selecting this miscellaneous expense account. I'm debiting the expense account. Since expense are always debit, I'm debiting it with $100. Okay, just look at this $100. And I'm selecting offset account as my petty cash account. Okay, here, and save this. So I just created this journal, selected the miscellaneous expense account, debited it, and selected for credit. I have selected the petty cash account to pay this miscellaneous expense. So this voucher is complete now and I can post it. But before posting it, I want to check either there is some balance in the petty cash account or not. So I am posting an entry, which means that I have to have, or I have to give the same amount to for that particular expense if I'm posting this transaction. Maybe before, after paying it, I can post it, or after posting it also I can pay it. Anything I can do. But if at all I'm posting it, means I should ensure that I have enough balance in the petty cash account. So if I have or not, we can easily check it here since we have configured that as a balance control account. So here under inquiries, I have this inquiry balance control. You can see here. Under inquiries in the journal header, in the action tab, I have balance control. So if I click on balance control, I can see the two accounts that I have configured for balance control with the balance. See, I can see cash account as well as petty cash account. So I'll come from this side. Actually, the module is ledger since these are ledger accounts only. Account number 1 lakh and 1 lakh to cash and petty cash. So let's look into petty cash account first. Okay. So in the petty cash account, before this journal, the existing balance is $200. So in trial balance, if you would go and check, the existing balance is minus $200. Now in this particular journal, we have booked it for minus 100, which means we have credited it for 100, right? So which shows minus 100. So you can see transactions. So in transactions, it is booked for 100. So after journal, in case if at all I post this journal, the one that I booked here, what will be the balance in the petty cash account? So it will be minus 300 because minus 200 and adding another minus 100 to that will be minus 300, right? So it will be minus 300. And other journals, it's not booked in any other journal other than this one. So it is showing other journals is 0. So if at all I post other journals also, I'll be having this balance only minus 300. So it says small inquiry, quick inquiry, and we can understand how much balance we have in that account in this way. So coming to this one cash account, as you can see here. So now in cash account, we have this balance like minus 19 lakhs 40, sorry, minus 1,94,400 balance we have. It's in negative numbers. Actually, we have overdraft balance. Okay. In this particular transaction, we did not book the cash account, right? We did not use cash account anywhere. We used miscellaneous expense account and petty cash accounts. So that is why in this particular transaction, you don't have, in this particular journal, you don't have any balance booked for your cash account. However, I mean, if you post this journal, the balance will be the same. Whatever it is there initially, this will be the same. Coming to other journals, this cash account is booked in some other journals. We have outside, we have some journals that are created and saved, right? Which we did not post. So in few of those journals, cash account might have been used, or uh, some transaction might have been created using cash account as credit. So I can see minus 2,26,490 as a booked balance for cash account. So these journals are not posted yet. Just that cash account is booked in those journals. Later they might post it. So if at all I post all these journals where cash account is booked, other journals also, then this will be the remaining balance in my cash account. So this is a quick inquiry. If at all we configure balance control account there in that page, we can see all the accounts here and the balances here in this page. So that is what balance control accounts do, or the configuration of balance control, or the purpose of balance control is to identify how much balance is existing in that account that we are going to use, and also to check what will be the remaining balance if at all we post the transaction, or how many journals it is, I mean, how much amount is booked in other journals, and according to that numbers we can proceed. Either we can use that account or we may not use that account. So we can, our users can have a quick inquiry and proceed, or may stop with posting transactions or using that posting transactions using that account. Understood, guys? This one? Any confusion in this part? Anyone?
Yeah, can you please explain after journal and other journals once?
Okay. So actually,
Good if you can explain from beginning also.
what's wrong in this? It's very small configuration actually. That's okay. I will explain you once again. No problem. So I'll just show you a duplicate tab. I'll show you trial balance as well for your better understanding. Okay. So you understood that configuration, right? Configuring balance control accounts, at least. I mean, adding that two accounts.
Yeah, that understood.
Okay. All of you. Santosh.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Perfect.
yes.
Okay. Now I'm running the trial balance of my accounts, so to identify which account is holding how much balance. Okay. So I'm running the trial balance inquiry to see the balances. So I see in my petty cash account the balance is credit 200, which means minus 200 is my balance I have in my petty cash account. Right. So this is the existing balance. So since I have configured that petty cash account in balance control accounts, it will show under this inquiry. Whenever I create any journal, here also I use the petty cash account for 100 credit, right? So if I go to inquiries here in the journal and click on balance control, I can see the accounts that I have configured for balance control. Those two accounts, cash account and petty cash account. See here. So reading this petty cash accounts, it's account number, name petty cash account. So before this journal, how much balance we have in the account? So originally how much balance we have? Minus 200. So that is what it is showing here, minus 200. So in this journal, what we have done, we have credited the same account for another 100, but we did not post this one yet. So it is showing that it is credited for 100. So minus 100 indicates that it is credited for 100. So what happens in case if I post this journal that I have created? The minus 200 will be added with another minus 100. On a total, the balance will turn up to minus 300. If at all I post this journal, so it is showing after journal, after posting this journal. Okay. This other journals means other than this journal, we have lot of journals right outside here. So in those journals, either this petty cash account is booked somewhere or not. That's what it looks into, system looks into. Whereas it comes to petty cash account, it is not booked in any of these journals or not used as a debit or credit in any of those journals or any other voucher lines. So that is why here in the inquiry it is showing other journals as 0, means it is not used in any other journals which are not yet posted. So it is showing 0. So after other journals means since we don't have any balance, if even though we post them, we'll get minus 300 only because we don't have this petty cash account booked in other journals, right? So we have minus 300 straight. In case if I post this journal, I mean the one that I booked here, then I'll have minus 300. That's what system is saying. Clear enough, Susila? Hello, Bala.
Yeah, understood.
Okay. So coming to cash account, I see the cash account balance I have here is in trial balance 1,94,400. Here also it is showing the same 1,94,400. So coming to this transaction, we did not use the cash account, so that is why it is showing transaction is 0. Means we did not use that cash account as debit or credit account here in this particular voucher. So that is why it is showing as 0. Suppose if I create another voucher here, quickly I'll do that. So I'm using another account like rent expense account or anything, and I'm debiting it for 1000. Okay, and I'm using let offset account as cash account. Saved it. Then I'm going for inquiries once again and going for balance control. So it will refresh the balances. This time I can see under transactions there is minus 1000, which explains like within this journal I have credited this cash account in one of the voucher, or if at all I do it in 4 or 5 vouchers, the consolidated balance will show up here. I mean the debits and credits will be added and subtracted, and the delta balance will show up as the transaction balance on how much the how much balance from the cash account is being used or being added to cash account can be understood here under transactions. So whatever it is booked in within this particular journal, it will show up here. So coming to after journal, if at all I post this journal where 1000 is credited for cash account, the balance will change to 1,95,400 minus balance. So it is already minus 1,94,400. Again, it will change to 1,95,400. So this cash account is also booked in other journals which are in draft status. Outside this journal, we have few journals that are created, right? So there we have used this cash account, I think so. So from there, it is saying that in those journals, in those vouchers, this much of amount is being used or being just created and saved in draft. So if at all I post those transactions also, this balance also will be added to the after journal balance. So then the total balance will be minus 4,21,890 if at all I post those journals. Okay, if at all I post this journal and if at all I post the other journals as well, both the journals, then I'll have this much balance in my cash account. If I don't post them, so this will be the same balance, right? Whatever there enough 1,94,400, that will be there. That's all, guys. It's a very small inquiry. Clear this, all of you?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So as I told you here, for ledger accounts, you have to configure it in the balance control accounts. Whatever ledger accounts you want, you have to configure it there where I have showed you the navigation, right? So under here under accounts, you have to configure whatever accounts you want, you have to configure here. But for bank accounts, by default, system will automatically take bank accounts into account. Suppose if I go to USMF, I'll change this legal entity here to USMF. Okay, it will now show me the USMF journal. So I have a lot of journals in USMF. I'll select one of the journal just for a sake. I'll show you. I'm going to lines. Here I am going to inquiries and just click on balance control. So in USMF, I already have some bank accounts configured in cash and bank module. Now you can see a petty cash account, which I have configured as a balance control account, is being showing up. As well, I can see bank accounts. USMF Euro, USMF Operation, USMF Payroll. So these are the 3 bank accounts I have in my USMF legal entity. So the 3 bank accounts will automatically turn up as balance control. So you don't have to give them as balance control account. They will automatically show up in the inquiry. Once you create bank accounts, so your bank balance will automatically show up in this journal, in this inquiry. I mean, the reading is same or the understanding is same for any account, either it is a ledger account or bank account. Okay, so that's the thing. Clear, guys? To remember these points, why balance control is used as well. Bank accounts are by default shown under the balance control accounts. To remember these two things. Okay. So any doubts in this part? Balance control, anyone? Bala?
No, JP.
No, perfect then. Then let us jump to a new topic, which Sushil asked previously. I'm just changing it to MRF again. Okay. Reason codes topic. So I think I previously told you what is the reason code and all, why we use it. Actually, reason codes are used for multiple purposes. So they are the short codes that you can give for different transactions or different situations. You can give reason codes. Mostly for some reversal transactions and normal transaction reversals or check reversals or any other type of correction transactions, they'll use these reason codes. So just to indicate why they are correcting it or why they are reversing it, why they are reversing that particular check, so that reason can be added. Suppose if that check is printed with wrong amount, error in the amount can be a reason code. So I'll configure a reason code as error in the amount, and I can quickly assign that while I am reversing that check, so that whenever someone who sees the transaction with the reversed transaction, they'll try to understand that this check is reversed because there is an error in the amount, or this user does reversed this transaction or done cancelled one of the transaction because of some or the other reason. So not only for reversal of transaction, for any transaction while you post it, you can give reason code. Normal journal transaction also, while you post it, you can give why you are posting the transaction. You can give how many ever reason codes you want, and you can use those reason codes for different purposes. And you can assign them to different transactions. Where in lot of places you can give reason codes. Okay, so first let us see how we can configure the reason codes. So in order to use them, we have to configure, right? So let's see them. So I'm in general ledger. Actually, reason codes are unique for every module, but through general ledger, you can create reason codes for all the modules. There are two things in general ledger. So I'll show you that. I think you can see it here in journal setup, general ledger, journal setup. I see ledger reasons and financial reasons. Ledger reasons and financial reasons. Ledger reasons are confined to only general ledger module, which means if I create a reason code here, it is only used in general ledger module. But if I create a reason code in financial reasons, this one, I can enable it to be used for any module. So first let us see how we can configure a reason code in this one, financial reasons. Okay. So general ledger, journal setup, financial reasons. General ledger, journal setup, and financial reasons. So I'm clicking on financial reasons. So it's an empty form here. I can create a new reason code. So I clicked on new. I can give a reason code. I can give reason code number 01. So default comment I can give it as the same that we discussed about. Error in amount. Okay. I can enable this for ledger as well as for fixed assets module. Bank means cash and bank management module. Customer means accounts receivable module. Vendor means accounts payable module. So customer reason, vendor reason, bank reason, and asset reason. You can give it as. There are certain situations where reason code is mandatory for posting some transactions. Suppose for check reversal, you can enable a parameter that whenever some user is reversing a check or reversing a deposit slip, they should definitely give a reason code. So without giving appropriate reason code, system will not allow them to reverse that particular check or deposit slip. The same way, while you reverse any other transactions, you can give a mandatory reason code, or you can give such kind of conditional parameters, so such that users cannot reverse them normally. They have to give an appropriate reason why they are reversing such transactions. For tracking purpose, they will be useful. Okay, here in financial reasons, I told you, right, whenever I create a reason code, I can use it in different modules. So in the under financials I created, right, in general ledger, I can use if I enable this tick mark. I can use the same reason code in cash and bank management also if I enable this tick mark. I can use this same in accounts payable and accounts receivable and fixed assets if I enable all the tick marks. So within general ledger only I can create reason codes for all the modules. Again, in all the modules, I'll separately have reason codes. I'll show you that too. Suppose if I go to cash and bank management. So where it is, I'm searching for it. So here it is, cash and bank management. Under cash and bank management, I can see bank reasons. See here. So if I click on bank reasons, so I see it's an empty form actually. Normally this should show up according to me, but it's not showing up. Okay. So here in cash and bank management, again, I have separate reason codes. So within cash and bank management, again, there are different situations like purpose code, cancellation reason and all. So I can create one and I can also enable them here. Like I can create a new code and I can give it as a purpose code or cancellation code for different, I mean, check cancellation or deposit slip cancellation like that. So we will see this reasons for, I mean, reason codes in cash and bank management during cash and bank management. Okay. We will discuss it in every module. So in general ledger, normally we can create reason codes for all the modules at a time here. So or else we can use them in the financial reasons. So I can also create one more. I can say it as just anything. Okay, you can also say as monthly rent. So monthly rents are always posted to ledger, right? So I'm enabling it only for ledger. I can say something mismatches. It's for some adjustment journals we used to post, right? Accounting mismatches, adjustments. So I'll just create one reason code. So I'll create here in ledger, only for ledger. Okay.
Can you also add sales and purchase returns also? Is it possible? Or do we-
Sales. What?
Sales returns and purchase returns.
You can use the same reason codes that you have created here, or you can separately create an accounts payable and accounts receivable module also. Okay. So now I have created 3 reason codes under financial reasons, and I have enabled it for different modules. Okay. Now if I go to the same page, general ledger, journal setup only. Under that I have ledger reasons. Other than financial reasons, I have ledger reasons which are specific for general ledger only. So if I go to ledger reasons, I can see these 3 automatically reflecting here. Got it? So the 3 that I have created are automatically reflecting for ledger here automatically. Suppose if I go for accounts payable module here, under setup, I think I'll have this vendor reasons. So here I have vendor reasons under setup, accounts payable, setup and vendor reasons. Suppose if I go for vendor reasons, I can see this. I can see 3 of them showing up here, but I can use only one because in the 3 reasons that I have configured, I gave one for vendor. I have enabled only one reason code, error in amount, right? So here in under financial reasons where I have created this for accounts payable module or for vendors, I have enabled only one reason code. So that one only showing up here as ticked. Remaining is also showing up, but they are not ticked, means they cannot be used. If you tick them also here, you can also use them in accounts payable as well. Suppose if I click this month at accounting mismatches adjustment and I refresh this here also, if I refresh this, see here this accounting mismatch adjustment is also enabled now for vendor automatically. So you can either do it here from general ledger for all the modules, or you can individually do that in different modules. So that's the concept of reason code. I mean, that's how you can configure reason codes. So for each module you have separately, I mean, vendor reasons, customer reasons, asset reasons, bank reasons. And again, you can also configure them from general ledger. For all the modules at a time, you can configure here under financial reasons. Only for general ledger, you can configure here under ledger reasons. Okay, suppose if I go to ledger reasons, if I click on one more, select 04, 04, I can select it as miscellaneous revenue, suppose, and I enable this for ledger. So only for ledger. I don't have other option here to select for other modules. But however, if I go to financial reasons again, so which is under ledger reasons here, I can see that code is created and it is active for ledger, only for general ledger. So if I want the same code to be applicable to customers also, I can also enable it for customers here. So wherever you create, so those will be reflected here under financial reasons, or in all the modules they will reflect. It's just that tick mark will not be enabled for them. So you can enable the tick mark and use them if you want in that module. So that's the whole concept of configuring reason codes. Okay. So how we use these reason codes once after configuring, we'll see now. It's very small concept actually. I'm normally going to general ledger, general journal. So we will use this reason codes in different areas. For now, I'm showing for a small journal. So I'm going for this journal number 33. If I go here, this is the one we created previously, right? So I'm going for this one where I am using rent expenses, right? I'm paying rent month. Here under general, I can see reason code option for one voucher. So this voucher, I can see reason code. So I'm paying rent, right? So I'll select this monthly rent as the reason code. So I can see this reason comment automatically coming here as monthly rent. Whatever I configure here will come here, or change it or add something else. So monthly rent August, you can add it like this. Edit it or however you want, no problem. Okay, that's one part of how you can use reason codes. You can also make this field as a compulsory field. Sometimes there is a feature for making any field as a compulsory field. So whenever they create a journal, they have to mandatorily give a reason code. It will show that field in red box. So there is a feature called designate a field as mandatory something. Yeah, actually I think that is the feature. If I enable that feature and if I come to this place and right click and keep it as a compulsory field, then it will work. Someday I'll show you in a different environment. I mean, that's a small trick. But yeah, this is optional here for now. Giving a reason code for a journal is optional. So we have given for this voucher, right? Voucher number 26. Again, I'll click on voucher number 25 here. So for voucher number 25 also, I can give another reason code. So it's empty here. I can select one of the reason code. I mean, I don't find any relevant reason code here. If you don't find any reason code, you can give a comment or any other comment. Yes. Expenses August or anything you can give. Power bill, kind of reason, anything without reason code. So reason codes are some unique numbers that you can give. You can give numbers or you also give alphabets or alphanumeric, anything you can give. So I think just using this kind of number pattern, that's all. So that's a very small concept case, and we will use reason codes going further for reversals, for cancellations, don't worry. And any confusion in this configuration of reason codes? Very small configuration. I mean, you don't have to do anything, just have to give a number and name, that's all. And you can use that. You have to enable it for various modules where you want to use it. And in those modules, if you're doing transactions, you can use that reason code for each transaction or for a particular situation. Clear, guys? Everyone? Santosh, Naveen? Naveen is there?
Yes,
Shiva?
that's clear.
Okay, perfect.
Yes, sir.
All right, then what else we can discuss today other than these two? So we have a small topic. This one we'll finish this accounts for automatic transactions. Actually, there is nothing to do in this. We have seen it already, I think, accounts for automatic transactions. Did anybody remember? We have discussed this topic.
While
Account structures type.
Difference in the foreign currency exchange rates we have configured.
When we got that error message while we are doing some allocation, that there is a 1 cent difference in reporting currency, we have configured that automatic account for such kind of situations to balance the vouchers. So then when we configured, that voucher took that account from that automatic accounts. So this part is, our understanding this one is important. So this is a very small part, but sometimes it will irritate our users don't know where to configure such accounts, or users don't know from where such account is being taken. So then it will be a headache. So try to understand this one, accounts for automatic transactions. We have these accounts for various purposes, but most commonly used are only few accounts. I'll show you that. Okay. The accounts for automatic transactions will be here under general ledger, the last menu, and posting setup. We have general ledger, posting setup, accounts for automatic transactions. You can see here general ledger, posting setup, accounts for automatic transactions. So here you can configure accounts for various different purposes. General ledger, posting setup, and accounts for automatic transactions. So if I go in, see previously we have configured this account for penny difference in reporting currency and penny difference in accounting currency. Last time, because of some exchange rate round offs, we got a 1 cent difference, because of which voucher was not posted and system threw error message that reporting currency balances are not, reporting currency numbers are not balanced in the voucher. Debit amount was not equal to credit amount. Actually, 1 cent difference is there. So later, once we have configured these accounts here, so in order to configure these kind of accounts, you have to click on new and select the posting type. So previously I've selected the posting type as penny difference in reporting currency, which is the actual reason why we got that error message. So I have selected this account. So I have created an account called as penny difference in reporting and accounting. For both the situations, I have created same account. So and I gave that account here. So whenever there is such kind of mismatch in the voucher or 1 or 2 cents difference because of exchange rates rounding offs and all, so that will be automatically posted or adjusted to this account that we give here in the accounts for automatic transactions for this posting type. If at all the difference is in reporting currency, it will pick this account. If it is in accounting currency, it will pick a different account, whatever you give here. Since for the two purposes I have given the same account, actually you can also maintain two different accounts, no problem. So not only for this situation, but there are a lot of situations you can see for exchange rate gains, exchange rate losses, sales tax roundings. So for liquidities, so for a lot of things we have, but most commonly used are this exchange rate gain, exchange rate loss, and this penny difference, two penny difference accounts we have configured. Then there is one important account, actually cash, vendor cash discount and customer cash discount we have. Actually, for vendor cash discounts and customer cash discounts, we will configure the main accounts in the discount codes. So if at all we use those discount codes and apply them on vendor transactions or customer transactions, so the accounts will be picked from that place only, from the codes where we give the main accounts. But sometimes you can directly apply cash discount other than using a cash discount code. In such situations, that accounts will be picked from here, whatever the account that you give from here, vendor cash discount account or customer cash discount account. So those accounts will be picked from here. In support, sometimes they normally users will give it manually. Other than using cash discount code, they will use this. They will apply the cash discount to the while they are making payment. They'll apply cash discount to the invoice. So at that time, account will be picked from here, and they will be in a confusion from where this account is picked, and they will keep on searching it in the accounts payable module, but they can't find it because that account is configured here in accounts automatic transactions. So in the same way, if whenever you get any confusion in any voucher from where this account is being taken, and if you don't understand it, and if you feel like it is not belonging to any module, or I mean, suppose if you are doing accounts payable transaction, or in accounts payable, if you are doing any transaction, vendor transaction, and if you find any account which is not related to what the configuration is there, so assume that that account is being picked from here. In the same way, for a lot of situations, you have accounts that you can give here from accounts for accounts for automatic transactions. Mostly for all these situations, there will be accounts configured in various places in the system or in different modules. Again, for all those kind of accounts, you can also directly give them in accounts for automatic transactions, but not most of them will use all the accounts here. Only few accounts which has to be configured here in this place only, they'll configure them or just give that account. So whenever the situation arises, that account will be automatically picked for the voucher. So here you can see lot of posting types. So mostly for consolidation also they will use one or two accounts, which is we will discuss it in the consolidation time actually. So for that consolidation part also there will be two accounts to post the exchange rate gains or losses into a separate account, or to maintain the inflation rates into a separate account. So we have two posting types separately for that consolidation part. Okay, do not worry about all these things, only remember few things, or you can once go through USMF, what is configured in USMF. I'll just show you what are the few account that is configured in USMF so that you can understand. So in USMF, how many they have? So they have quite few. Okay, for penny difference, for error account, they have one. Penny difference in accounting currency they have. For year-end result, they have one. For retained earnings account actually. For cash discount, normal customer cash discount taken, they have one. I mean, so for normal cash discount, they have one. Customer cash discount, customer invoice discount, vendor cash discount, and vendor invoice discount they have. So this one we have, which is also important, order invoice rounding. Sometimes there are situations where you will give some rounding amounts in your invoice to round it to the nearest numbers. Whenever according to your calculation or your system's calculation, invoice amount will fall like something like 999.99, but vendor gave invoice for 1000, so that $1 you have to adjust, right? So in order to post the invoice for 1000, so what you will do is you will give a rounding balance of 0.1. So that rounding balance, whatever you give in that invoice, will be adjusted to this account which is given here. So order invoice rounding or vendor invoice rounding of some both, for both of them they're using same account actually. It will pick that account. So mostly for minor adjustments only, but this cash discount account, customer cash discount account is picked automatically if you're not using a cash discount code and manually giving the discount. So I'll again explain you that part in application of discounts in those separate modules, but just keep some idea about these accounts for automatic transactions. There are a lot of small minute errors or issues that will arise because some accounts are not configured in this place. Okay, whenever sometimes accounts will clearly say that an account for error and an account for penny difference in accounting currency is not configured under accounts for automatic transactions. Error message will clearly indicate you. So which means you have to come to this place and configure whatever the account that is missed. Okay. So that is with this topic, accounts for automatic transactions. Anything, any doubt in this, anyone? So let me know.
Sir, last 2 points.
Which 2 points?
Customer cash discounts.
Vendor cash discount, customer cash discount. Actually, I told you that vendor cash discount and customer cash discount will normally have discount codes, which is configured in accounts payable and account receivable module. So for that discount codes, we will give main accounts which has to be affected. So when vendor discount is posted, which account has to be credited, so it's revenue, right? It will be credited. For customer cash discount that we give to customers, it is a loss, right? So it will be debited. So which account has to be used? We will normally configure it in that cash discount codes. But sometimes you can also post cash discounts without using cash discount codes. So in that situation, when you are not using cash discount code, system will pick the account from here in this place. For vendor cash discount, it will take from here. For customer cash discount, it will take from here. Okay.
But we can see this in main account, right?
Yeah, we can see this in main accounts as well as in voucher also. This account will automatically show up.
Okay.
See, when you post vendor discount, you will definitely have that in your voucher, right? The discount account has to be in voucher to balance the voucher.
If we don't have any cash discount code, so directly the system will pick this. So, there we can see, right?
Yeah, in case if you manually apply cash discount or not using a cash discount code, then for that amount, whatever you manually give, system will
Okay.
automatically debit or credit these accounts from this place.
Okay. Okay.
So within the voucher, it will directly insert this account to balance the voucher.
Okay.
Okay. And that would be all, guys, for today. So we have discussed 3 small topics quickly today: balance control accounts, reason codes, and accounts for automatic transactions. So mostly tomorrow we will see either accrual schemes or intercompany configurations. So both of them are easy and important. This both accrual schemes and intercompany. So after completing that, we will mostly be done with all the process activities in general ledger. So except these parameters, we will discuss that too. This is not a process activity. This is just yes or no parameters, how system will work if we enable or disable them. And then we have some inquiries: transaction reversal, financial dimension sets, trial balance inquiry, voucher inquiries, how we can check the posted voucher with the number sequences we have configured, right? Each unique voucher number we have, journal batch number we have. So using that, how we can track transactions, we can see. And different kinds of reports we have. So these 3 topics actually we'll discuss at the end of the course: foreign currency revaluation, consolidation, and year-end closure. So mostly we can complete this general ledger part in this week if we take the classes straight. 1 for accruals, 2 for intercompany, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Mostly dimension sets is a small topic. These 2 can be covered in a single day. That's all. At least 5-6 classes we can complete general ledger and we can go to cash and bank management. Okay. Actually by this time they'll complete 3 modules outside. They don't tell anything. They will only tell just few topics.
Configurations only.
They will only, mostly they'll tell configuration. They will also skip that parts as well. So, but for us, our agenda is to learn perfectly, and you have to work on yourself, not depending on anyone else. Okay. Do not worry. You don't feel like people who are working in corporate now is having a complete knowledge on dynamics and demand. They don't have complete knowledge. So whatever we learn in this course and how much ever we learn, that much knowledge also they don't have. Definitely they don't. Okay. If you practice well and if you understand the topics well and practice well, so it will be very good for you will be better than them if you go in. So focus on that. So even in my first job, like I learned the course like this and I went into a company. So I thought my imaginations were in different. So I am a fresher, I joined. So how it will be like. But when I went in, then I understood that those people are just managing their jobs. They have only normal knowledge. So then I have invested some time, learn this, and then I have framed this course content myself such that every topic will be covered, which will be used in business and for interview purposes as well. So cracking interview is the first thing, and as well learning is important and practicing it is important and getting used to dynamics is important. And whenever somebody asks you something, you have to quickly take them to the navigation. You don't have to refer your book or think twice. So that navigation should be in your mind. So whenever somebody asks about parameters, it will always be under setup in any module. So you have to directly take them to setup. The same way, journal names will be always under journal setup. So posting related things will always be under posting setup. So like that you have to keep in mind. So any report will be always under inquiries and report in any module. So under inquiries and reports, we have actually, so under inquiries and report, first we will have inquiries, then we have different types of reports. So understanding how menus are being structured here in Dynamics is important too. I mean, you can normally move anything from anywhere to anywhere, or you can customize this menu as you wish. But knowing where standard features are there and how standard features work is important. Okay. So invest some time in practice so that you can do better than anyone else who is already working. So that, okay. I think Bala, you can stop the recording.